Hey everybody, it's Rob Folia with Folia Properties at Keller Williams Realty and author of Real Estate Reset. And man, I can't believe it's 2025 already. Gosh, I mean, where does the time go? I don't know if it's just since becoming a dad a few years ago or what, but man, the time just seems to fly right now. And it's 2025. We're past the holiday season. We're past the holidays. And I know some of y'all have real estate on the mind right now. Some of y'all are thinking about making a move this year, maybe thinking about investing in real estate. So let's take a look at the market, see what's happening right now. So that way you can get the real information and decide what makes the most sense for you and your life. And so let's just go ahead and jump right in. We're gonna start with interest rates. Interest rates have been a topic of conversation that we've had here on these real estate reset videos for quite a while. Or these real estate market reviews, I should say, videos quite a while. Got real estate reset on the brain, but no, we've talked about interest rates for quite a while, mainly because they should dictate what type of decisions that you make. Now, granted, I know life is going to pop up, a move is going to happen because of a job transfer or a change of life situation, and like you can't control that. And so I'm not saying that all moves are not the best move right now. But the reality is, if you bought your home 3, 4, 5+ years ago, like let's just take a look at the 5-year interest rate trend. If you bought your home back here where you had a 3% interest rate, say in 2021, man, it's kind of tough for me to say as the market sits right now at about a 7% rate for a 30-year fixed that you should make a move. Now, granted, again, you might have a change of life situation where you have to move because your family's expanded, or maybe you're retiring and you can get rid of that 3% mortgage and buy your next house in cash, which I guess then the interest rate wouldn't matter. Or maybe you're just, again, transferring jobs or relocating to take care of family, whatever the case might be. Like in those situations, you don't let money dictate what you do. You've got to let your life dictate what you do in those situations. But if this is more of an optional move, a move that you're making because you just kind of feel like moving, if I were y'all, I would really think hard about it. And I'm not. I know you might be thinking, man, why is this real estate agent telling me not to move? I'm just saying you've really got to see if it makes sense from a budgeting standpoint, a financial standpoint, because your interest rate, man, it could really change big time what your mortgage payment is, especially if you have a 3% rate and maybe you're getting a larger home plus a higher interest rate. Man, that's really going to impact your monthly payments. And honestly, the fact that we're still at 7%, some of y'all might be thinking, man, it's a bad thing, that's a good thing. I honestly think rates staying about where they are is kind of a good thing for when it comes to market volatility or lack thereof. Um, Interest rates being higher keep some people out of the market, and when we're in a low inventory market, which I still believe we're in, and that we might continue to see in 2025, it's not a bad thing. The reality is our market is very supply and demand driven. And while obviously no one knows how many homes are going to hit the market in the next 30 days or 12 months, I mean, it's just nobody has a crystal ball. We can look at what's happening recently and get an idea of what's coming. And that's where I'm just going to pull up the market trends for Nashville. I didn't pull up Davidson County, just pulled up Nashville. I could obviously pull up any city here in Middle Tennessee, and if you're curious about your particular city, reach out, and I'm happy to have a conversation with you about it. But just looking at Nashville, I want to spotlight a couple of things. First, right here, and these are the numbers for December of 24 compared to December of 23. December of 24, we saw 404 new listings pop up in Nashville as compared to 529 in December of 23. That's down about 24%. That's a huge decrease. Now, granted, 1 month, don't let that be something that makes you say, that you make a huge determination on. But if we look at the timeline for that, and I'll go back to the snapshot here in a moment. If you look at the timeline for that, and let's go back. Well, let's just see. I wish Real Tracks hadn't changed their system a while back because it's so clunky to try to find stats on the fly. So I'll just go back to the snapshot. But the reality is down 24%. If that trend line continues, man, that is not a trend line that we're going to want to see, because that's going to create the type of environment that we saw, say, 3, 4, 5 years ago when rates were low. and there were bidding wars. Because some people are gonna have to have a place to live. It just is what it is, and they're relocating for those reasons that we just talked about. The downsizing. They're getting a divorce. Their family's growing. They're relocating to our area for a new reason. And when that happens and there's low supply, that's when we see prices get almost artificially inflated. They get inflated. They increase. And while a great thing for homeowners, it does price a lot of people out of the market. And that's not usually just a local trend. That's a trend nationwide. And it makes it to where that home that you looked at 5 years ago that was $350,000 is now close to twice that. And it's just kind of a crazy market that we end up seeing. So hopefully we don't continue to see low inventory like this, but it's a delicate balance. The interesting thing that I'm seeing here and it's kind of a contradictory number, and that's months of supply increasing to almost 5 months last month in Nashville. Now, granted, months of supply can sometimes be a little bit of a lagging indicator compared to new listings because months of supply, while it is taking into consideration the new listings, it's also taking into consideration how quickly things have sold recently. New listings are kind of forecasting what's going to happen because only seeing 400 new listings, it's compared to 529, man, that's kind of a warning sign for me. That's like, hey, we might be seeing a low inventory market. But that is what it is, and that's all purely speculation. Homes are still selling. You can see right here, amount of closings almost identical from 23 to 24. So that's definitely a good thing for all homeowners that are out there. One thing that might not be great for all home buyers. You can see both the average and the median sales price. The reality is they went up either 5% or 8%. Guys, for any home buyer that's out there that's thinking, hey, I'm going to wait for prices to go down. Guys, I've heard that tale forever. I mean, I've been in business now since 2013, so 11 plus years now. And the reality is I talked to so many people in 2016, 2017, where prices were rising. They were going up about 10% year over year. It was kind of a correction compared to what we saw from the recession. And I talked to so many people back then. This is 7 or 8 years ago that said I can't wait for prices to go down. They were wanting prices to go down so homes would be affordable for them. And they priced themselves out of the market because of inaction. And so, don't let inaction stop you from becoming a homeowner if that's you, if you're thinking about that as well. One other thing to talk about real quick, and I don't want to dwell on this too much, but that's time on market. That's what DOM, days on market, means. And you can see it's basically the same from 23 to 24. I've talked to some homeowners here over the last couple of months that have had almost a narrative that, well, homes are sitting, and maybe homes are sitting in their neighborhood, or maybe they've seen a particular house sit for a little bit longer than expected, and they think the market's bad. And guys, the reality is this is an average time on market being about a month. You got to think average is just that. It's an average. It's a mean of all the numbers. There are some that are going to be much higher than that, some that are going to be much lower than that. It all comes down to how well a home is priced compared to what it should be priced at, meaning market value. So if somebody priced a home correctly, it's going to end up selling. In fact, I will dive into some of the numbers to kind of prove a point real quick. Not this one. Let's look at pricing ratios. Let's look at median sales to list price, and let's get rid of that. I don't like too many numbers being on here. I mean, you could see right here the median. So again, this median, I almost like that better than average, but we can look at average too in a second just to see if it's much different. But because median takes out some of the extremes, right? It takes out if something was sold drastically below because it was overpriced or drastically above because it was underpriced. And you can see the median, which is down compared to some places we saw last year. The median was 98.4%, meaning if a home was, say, priced at $500,000 for the easy math, it's sold for about $6,000 or $7,000 less than that, maybe 8,000. Just trying to do the mental math. I has that easy math, and there you go. Maybe I should have picked a different number, but still, my point being that the reality is homes are still selling for basically what is being asked for. This isn't 95, this isn't 93% or anything along those lines. And if we look at average, you can see. I mean, you can see it's a little bit lower than that. It's a 97% right there. But gosh, you can see also right here that it's a little bit lower there as well. Point being, and I guess my reason for bringing this up is that when a home is priced right, it's going to sell and it's going to sell quickly. In fact, one of my last listings, we hit the market, we put it at an attractive price and a price that we thought it was worth. We thought, hey, we're going to put it up at this number. It's going to sell at this number. If we're lucky, might create a bidding war, but the reality is we knew the market and we knew that things might, just in terms of they're not what they were 3 years ago. Bidding war might not be what we would see. Long story short, home sold full price one day on the market. Now, granted, it was the only showing that we had. And so, our first showing, I say only showing, it was first day on the market. So, who knows? The next day we could have had two more, but the reality is, first showing, and because we priced it right, we got a full price offer and we sold. Um, I guess the moral of the story and the reason I'm sharing this with you is just to say that, look, if a home is priced right, it's going to sell and it's going to sell quickly. Every market, every neighborhood's a little bit different. And so we might not see that for your neighborhood. And if you're curious about your particular numbers, guys, you just got to reach out to me because I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. If you're seeing this outside of the Nashville area, still reach out. I'm happy to have a conversation, get you connected with somebody great locally. And if you're in Middle Tennessee, just reach out to me, 615-238-7578. You can email me. If you're getting this in your email, hit that reply button, or you can email me at rob@foliaproperties.com, and we can have a conversation and go from there. Again, if you're seeing this on social media, YouTube, hit that like button, follow, subscribe, help me grow this channel. Thank you so much. I look forward to talking with y'all soon. Have a great day and Happy New Year too.